Going on YouTube? Well, today is the day. It is finally upon us. Sure, I'm gonna say it in the description, but today is the day we start working on getting the stuff done to start boosting the Silverado. In case y'all didn't know, this is my 2007 Silverado single cab. Some of y'all may remember the video. I put a X-Tron's head unit in it, and I put a thrush muffler on this. Other than that, it's pretty much stock. I did upgrade the entire stereo, speakers with an amp and everything that I didn't actually show on the channel. And you know, it's all Scar audio, and you know, but it sounds really good. But the problem is you can never hear that stuff real good on these YouTube videos. But just my little daily driver. Now I've already did boost gauge and my wideband. I've had that done for a while. Basically, when I bought the HP tuner stuff, I went ahead and put that stuff in so I could start playing with it and learning it a little bit. But this is it. It's just filthy right now. I drive this truck every day. It's got 146,000 miles on it. Let's find out real quick. Ooh, 147. So that is the odometer reading currently. And we are going to be starting our boost for this truck. So I know most people start out doing like pulling the exhaust off and getting their turbo mounted and doing all that cool stuff, all the fun stuff. But I'm not starting there. I'm actually going to start with the essentials to make the truck run. So today I'm going to be pulling the bed off and getting the fuel pump swapped out. As I do things, I'll go over the components I'm using. I've got a Walbroil 450 that I'm putting in the tank. I've got a Aeromotive fuel regulator with a return and some AN lines, AN fittings, things like that. I'm using some Deca 80s for my fuel injectors, and that's pretty much it. Like, show y'all under the hood. I mean, it's a bone stock truck. I did have a little air intake on it, but a buddy of mine did a coyote swap in a 2001 Mustang, and obviously the stock air box wouldn't fit, so I still have my stock air box. So I put my stock air box back on and gave him that so he could engineer himself an intake for his car, and it turned out pretty good. And hopefully I'll have a video of that car coming up pretty soon, because he just got it driving. We've actually been working on trying to tune it a little. But yeah, all stock. Everything's bone stock. So I do have that cover, which I took it off when I just didn't put it back on, because I took that air intake off like 2 weeks ago, about a week ago maybe. So like I said, we're gonna get started on the bed. We're gonna do that first. I'm gonna do mine a little bit differently than most people. Like, I'm actually gonna take my bumper off, and that way I can slide the bed back and then pick it up using a engine hoist. So, but I just really don't want to risk scratching my paint or something, or denting a truck. So I'm going to actually slide it back and then pick it up and pull it off. But that's the plan. So I'm going to get all that set up, and I'll get back with y'all in a minute. And it's turbo time. It's coming very soon. We'll be making boost. Real quick though, but my goals for this truck is not to be like crazy right now. It's still my daily driver. So pretty low boost. I just want some more power, and then I do have hoping to be buying a new truck pretty soon, and then we can go all out. So make it full on street truck. But anyway, so that's the plan, and let me get these things set up and I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, so we got the bed off. Probably gonna just clean this up. Might grab my pressure washer real quick and just clean this up and let it all dry before I start taking any of that apart. And while that's drying, I want to finish cutting these brackets the rest of the way off the frame. But beds off is a little bit of a booger because that charcoal canister, I didn't know on these model trucks actually sticks up higher than the frame, so when I tried to slide it back it was hanging on it. No big deal, but just used a couple straps, crossed them up, engine hoist. I use that 50-pound weight right there for kind of a ballast, you know, just to add a little distribution so that it wasn't so teetery. But yeah, I'm gonna go at the shop, grab my pressure washer real quick, and I'm not sure how much of that I'll film or anything, but I'll get back with y'all. Well, you know what? I'll just be back in a minute. Okay, so off camera I went ahead and cut these little brackets off and hit them with a little paint, the bump stop brackets. But after I pressure washed this thing, I found this little crack right here. So I'm very sure it was existing and it hasn't been leaking. So just to be sure, I started the truck up and let it run a minute and all that happy jazz, but that means the fuel lines are probably under full pressure again, and I'm probably gonna get sprayed when I take it off. But we're about to take the top hat apart and everything like that. I'm gonna get the camera set up on the tripod looking that way so y'all can see what I'm doing, and we'll get to that, and I'll be back in just 1 second. Let me get the camera set up. Do what we can do. We got Walbro 450 right here, and it's a healthy size pump. So, and then I got sock and a hose, and I got this little insert thing that goes around the pump. It's supposed to help prevent slop. But like I said, I've never taken one of these apart to see what it looks like in there. I might have to cut a bunch of stuff out. I don't know. But either way, we're gonna make something work, because I took it out. I ain't doing it for nothing. All right, getting to work. Okay, so new plan. I finally just beat this thing out of there, went whack-a-mole on it, and got it out. And I'm gonna crimp the ends back in with my vise or my pliers, slide it back in there, and spread them back out. Anyway, that's not even the big deal. Apparently, like, most of the ones I've seen people do of these were 3rd gens, and mine's a 4th gen. So this thing right here is basically, this is your bypass valve. This is just a filter, and the pump itself in this model, actually, this bypass valve is the low return, but this pump itself actually sits down in there in a little pocket and pushes pressure through here to pull fuel from the tank. so it doesn't use the return, or it doesn't use the same. I was hoping it kind of use the same style as the 3rd generation Silverados, 3rd gen LS base motors, where you had the little tube that came up all the way to the top and you could put a fitting in it and it worked your Venturis. But this one right here, that's where the pump sits, and it pushes. It's got like a little check valve there or something, and it pushes to the Venturi here, and the Venturi pulls the fuel from the tank up through this stem. And I took the cap off the stem, but it's just a flow through, and there's no way I'm gonna get a fitting in that. I don't have a fitting that small, so that will go to this line right here, which is basically a 3/8. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just take the wall roll, put my filter socket and everything on it. I'm gonna put it down in here, and I am going to come up away with maybe fasten it, drill like 2 or 3 holes around the side, find me some wire. I'm really nervous about using zip ties for this, but well, I got some stainless welding wire, so I could probably do that. I could just twist some stainless welding wire around it. I'm not sure if I got any baling wire around, but anyway, so do that to hold it in place, keep it from moving, and I'll put the little sock thing on it, this thing right here, put it around it to insulate it from the metal rubbing. And then what I'll do is I'll take this and feed it into the bowl and use it just solely as a return into the bowl. And this bowl has a little check valve flapper right there, which they probably never work right, but it pretty good size hole there for it coming in, and it's right by where the pump will be. And hold on 1 second, have to call him back, but it's right by where the pump will be. And then I'm on the fence of whether I should pull this tube out, because it just clips in there, and let it, you know what, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Maybe cut it just a hair lower. No? Yeah, maybe just cut it just a hair lower. That way when the fuel in the tank is a little bit lower, it'll still come up through that tube. But I'll still be able to keep, like, my return will stay above this level, as long as my pump is not outrunning my return, or my fuel consumption is not outrunning my return, which I don't believe it should be, because I'm not planning on going like big boost or anything yet. So I should be returning a pretty good bit of fuel. But with this, there was a lot of ick in here, so I'm gonna order a I should have already ordered one. I don't know why I didn't, but I'm gonna order an inline filter tonight to put up by my regulator. And you know, I'm gonna, depends on when I get here, because Summit usually is only a day for us, but with it being, it's Thursday now, I'll order it tonight. It'll ship tomorrow. I probably won't have it till Monday, at the best Saturday, which I work this weekend. So I'm off tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get some more done and carry forward. But I don't want to, but I'm not going to button up the fuel system until I know it's actually working. And I'm not going to try and run it until I put that filter on now, since I've seen a little ook in the, especially when I poured this filter out. Like I poured it out there on the ground, it was a little bit of brown stuff coming out of it. So just to be safe, not so worried about my stock injectors, but I don't want to mess up my good injectors, especially if I'm under boost. I don't want them clogging up and, you know, leaning the truck out and blowing the cylinder. So that is the plan. So I'm gonna get started on that, I'm not gonna try and film it because every time I try to film something with y'all watching, it does not go as planned. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it all back together, or start getting it back together, and then I'll just show y'all what I did and go back over it again. Anyway, so I'm gonna get on that, and I will see y'all. Well, for you it'll be a second. For me, it'll be ever how long. See ya. All right, so it's actually been like several days later from when we started the fuel system. I ended up getting sick, and I was sick for some kind of stomach bug or something. I was sick for a whole next day, and then Saturday I had to go to work, and I've been at work the last 3 days, and I went to work sick Saturday and didn't feel real great Sunday either, but I'm back to normal now, thank God. But I did get our fuel pickup and our pump finished up. Drilled the hole here for my 6 a.m. fitting, and run my return down here, and hooked my pump up to my factory line. And some people may be asking why I did it that way. These trucks actually have a fuel pressure sensor in the fuel line, so I'm not sure exactly how that plays with the CAN bus and the computer. I still want it for reference, so I still have a fuel gauge inside the truck with my torque out. So I'm going to leave it that way. I mean, 6 a.m. is not, but about the same. There's about the same size as the 3/8 fuel line to the front anyway. So it's not like I'm gaining or losing, and I don't think I'll really be, for the boost level I'm planning on running, I'm not going to need like even as much injector as I got or anything like that. But I'm actually being very conservative with that for now. But everything I bought should get me a lot of horsepower, like 800-ish, if not to 1,000. Everything I bought is supposed to be rated up to 1,000 horsepower, but those numbers are always a little skewed. So I got it back together, tied the pump in here, put that little foam insulator behind there. I actually took the old pump mounting hat and trimmed it out, the bottom of it out, so that I could slide it over the pump, and it helps hold it down into the lowest spot down here. And I took this and dremeled this in there, this little Venturi flat, and that little rubber thing for my plug got stuck in there. But so we're about to just go slap this back in the truck, start running, or getting our, I'm gonna temporarily run the fuel line or the return line to the front, and we're gonna find us a place to mount our Aeromotive fuel regulator. And like I said, I did go ahead and order the fuel filter and stuff I was talking about earlier, and they're actually supposed to be delivered today, so I should have everything to finish up the fuel system today. And hopefully, I haven't decided if I'm gonna put the injectors in yet, because that way I know the injectors that are in there will start and run and drive the truck. I don't have to mess with any injector data or anything like that right offhand while I'm checking the truck for leaks and just kind of seeing maybe where it gets in the boost, so I know where to start changing my tune. But I don't know, I probably will go ahead and put them in, but at the same time I'm a little hesitant because I know I can test things with the stock injectors in there. I just won't be able to get heavy in the boost and stuff like that. So that's where we're at. I'll see y'all back at the truck. Okay, so update. I decided to just work on it and forget to, I really wanted to film more, but I'm way behind. So, and I kept having little things come up, and I didn't want to keep stopping and starting. So I just worked on this, and then I figured I'd just give an update at the end of the video. But we got the fuel pump back in, turn lines hooked up. Don't have any leaks right now. The fuel regulator and my fuel filter, 100 micron fuel filter, made the connection to the fuel rail right there. And as you can see, like, I've already started up, tested it for leaks, stuff like that. But I figured I'd give y'all a quick test real quick. Alright. Turn the air conditioner off. So I'll wait for that to start collecting data. There it goes. 47 pounds. I've already set it at like 50 something, but it's doing something a little weird. And yeah, I set it at 58. After a few minutes, the fuel will like fluctuate back and forth. It's like that. I think the computer is trying to cut the fuel pump on and off. Like, basically this truck, the baseline, now I set it down to like 43 and it was doing the same thing. It shoot real high and then drop back down to 43. What it would do is, I think the truck is fuel pump works with commands from, you know, sensors and stuff, fuel pump speed. So I think what it's trying to do is, like, it senses the fuel pressure staying high or staying low, or it's not, that little thing with the ground to it in that was in the fuel bucket, it's not seeing it, so I'm getting an error for that. But that's neither here nor there. I can fault the error and get rid of it in HP tuners. But it's I think it's looking for the pressure to move where it's telling it to move, and it's not doing that, so it keeps just jumping it around. And what I think I'm going to have to do is play with the HP tuners a little bit and see if I can't get the pressure, like the pump, where it just runs full speed all the time. That's something I got to figure out. But I mean, as long as I can get it to stay stable, you know, 58 pounds, that should be more fuel pressure than I need for this 4.8. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video. I know next video we're gonna try and start working on hot side stuff, so I will try to do a little bit more detail. But yeah, this was just the fuel system, and I've never seen anybody do anything with these fuel buckets, so I want to show what I did with this fuel bucket in case anybody else is wondering. And if you keep up with this build, you'll find out if it works or not. I did pop the hat while it was in there and made sure the fuel's staying like nice and level. If I pick up on it, like the fuel is lower in the tank, then the bucket actually stays a little bit fuller. But you know, we'll have to see. And like I said, it doesn't seem like the return line's like pumping in all that fast. I figured it'd be way faster than that. So I'm really wondering if the computer ain't like cutting the power up and down to the pump, trying to get it to stabilize where it wants it. Anyway, so that's going to do it. And we will catch y'all in the next video, which I will be starting tomorrow morning, working on the hot side of this. We're going to get the truck jacked way high in the air, start pulling the exhaust off. We'll see you in the next video.